This is the just valuation of unsold stock. Once again I repeat that when you valuate the unsold stock at that time, you take first point is cost price. Cost price of its goods rupees 2 lakh is a cost price of all goods which sent by consignor to consignee. We have just need to find out the value of 10% goods because they have 10% also stock, and 10% of 2 lakh is rupees 20,000. Also need to make up consignor's expenses. That find out the amount, proportionate amount for the unsold goods. He had paid rupees 10,000 for all stock. It means rupees 1,000 for 10%. Consignee's direct expenses included in the value of unsold stock, and direct expenses are never included in the value of unsold stock. So it just paid rupees 5,000 for direct expenses, and 10% of that is rupees 500. It means the total of these expenses, it means the cost, and cost means total expenses. We just valuate unsold stock as per the cost price, their cost. So total cost for that unsold stock is rupees 21,500. It's known as consignment stock. It's also called as unsold stock. It's also called as stock with consignee. Okay, you just take any one name. Now I just using consignment stock account. Consignment stock account. Okay, consignment stock account. It means if there have any unsold stock with consignee at the end of financial year, you passing the journal entry, it means consignor pass the journal entry, consignment stock account debit and consignment account credit. So write at the credit side of consignment account by the name of consignment stock account. Okay. You just evaluate the unsold stock. After that, you just find out the profit or loss on consignment. Okay, making the balancing process and find out the value of unsold stock. Oh, sorry, find out the profit or loss on consignment. Okay. Firstly, making the total of credit side rupees 3,51,500. It's a total of credit side. So just total of debit side is rupees 100. 100, 0, 5 and 2,50,100. These are the income, these are expenses. 400, 1,000, 1,000, 0, 1. 1 lakh, 1,000, 1 lakh, 1,400. It's a profit. So right. So journal entry for that. Consignment account debit and P&L account credit. All the profit transferred to the P&L account. So write at the debit side of consignment account by the name of P&L account. In bracket, profit transfer. Profit transfer. Rupees 1,01,400. Total become 3,51,500. 3,51,500. Okay. The consignment account close. 1,01,400. Okay. At the end of financial year, you have need to making the balancing process and close all accounts, and there have rupees 2 lakh the balance on the credit balance on the goods and on consignment account, and it transferred to the trading account. So entry for that is goods sent on consignment account debit and trading account credit. So write at the debit side of goods sent on consignment account by the name of trading account rupees 2 lakh and close this account. Don't keep the balance on this account. Okay, all accounts are closed, sir. Okay, this is the financial record in the book of consignor. Okay, as well as now today I just see the financial record in the book of consignee. This is the financial record of consignment in the book of Rahul Traders. Consignment account, goods sent on consignment account, Sachin's account, valuation of unsold stock. Okay, now just see the how Sachin keeping the financial record of these transactions. Okay, so in the books of consignee, in the books of consignee, it means in the books of Sachin. Sachin prepared the Rahul Traders account. It means consignor's account. Okay, consignor's account. Consignor's account. Okay. Now, Rahul Traders send the goods to Sachin. When consignor send the goods to consignee, at that time consignee never pass the journal entry. It means consignee never keeping the record when it get the goods from consignor. Is that clear? Okay. No entry has passed by consignee. Consignor passing the journal entry when it send the goods to consignee, but consignee never pass the journal entry. It means consignee never keeping the record of the transaction which are done by consignor for send the goods, as well as when consignor spend the expenses at that time, consignee never pass the journal entry. Okay. Okay. Then when consignee taking the delivery of goods at that time, or at the time of they making the deal, consignee, it means Sachin, give the check of rupees 50,000 to Rahul Traders. This is the first transaction. When consignee giving the advance to consignor, for journal entry for this transaction is that Sachin give the check of rupees 50,000 to Rahul Traders. At that time is past journal entry, Rahul Traders account debit and bank account credit. He issue the check to Rahul Traders. So now this transaction, Rahul Traders is a receiver, and as per the rule of personal account, debited the receiver's account. When Sachin give the check to Rahul Traders, at that time it's past journal entry, Rahul Traders account debit and bank account credit. So write at the debit side of Rahul Traders account by the name of bank account. Okay, I just tell you the journal entries orally and how it recorded in the accounts. Sure, there. Okay. Rahul Traders account debit and bank account credit. When consignee give the check as an advance to consignor, it means now they are to Rahul Traders. First entry. After that, when it get the delivery of goods, it spent rupees 2,000 for clearing or carriage and cartage. Sachin paid rupees 2,000 for carriage and cartage, rupees 3,000 for loading and unloading charges. Consignee Sachin paid rupees 10,000 for go down rate and also paid rupees 5,000 for selling commission and advertisement, selling expenses and advertisement. Okay, it means total rupees 20,000 paid by Sachin for the various consignments expenses done by itself. Sachin paid rupees 20,000 for the different expenses. At that time it passed journal entry. These expenses are, it's become these expenses in for behalf of Rahul Traders. Paid expenses for Rahul Traders. Okay. So it's debited the Rahul Traders account, and for this transaction cash goes out from its hand. So it's created the cash account. It also created the bank account. You can also create the bank account when it's paid expenses. Now entry for that. Rahul Traders account debit and cash account credit. Cash account rupees 20,000. These expenses are not done at a time, at a one time, but now the example, it's provide the information just one time. It's said that Sachin paid rupees 20,000 for different expenses. So now we just pass this one time entry. Rahul Traders account debit and cash account credit. The entry for Sachin's expenses. Okay. After that, it sold the goods. Sachin sold the goods. Sachin sold 60% of consigned goods. Okay. Sachin sold 60% of consigned goods on cash. At that time, it passed the journal entry. When consignee sold the goods on cash, at that time it passed the journal entry. Cash account debit and this amount is due to the consignor. This is the consignor's amount. It just sold the goods. Okay. So when it get the cash, it debited the cash account, but this amount is payable to the, it have need to pay this amount to Rahul Traders. So it's created the Rahul Traders account. Okay. When consignee sold the goods on cash, at that time is passed journal entry, cash account debit or bank account debit and consignor's account credit. But consignee passing journal entry, consignor pass the journal entry for that this transaction. consignee's account debit and consignment account credit. For cash sales as well as credit sale, entry has passed by consignor its sale. Consignee's account debit and consignment account credit. But now they have the difference. When consignee made the transaction, when you making any transactions, at that time you pass the journal entry different time. When Sachin sold the goods on cash, at that time it passed the journal entry cash account debit and Rahul traders account credit. Journal entry for cash sales is that cash account or bank account debit and Rahul traders account credit. Right at the credit side of Rahul traders to buy cash account rupees 2,10,000. It's a cash sales. Okay, understood that? It sold the goods on cash, at that time it passed journal entry cash account debit and Rahul traders account credit. And Sachin sold 30% of consigned goods on credit. Sachin sold 30% of consigned goods on credit. At that time, it passed the journal entry. Sundry debtors. It becomes debtors. When you sold the goods on credit, at that time they create a debtors. And we preparing that particular person's account in your ledger book to whom you sold the goods. We just say that person to debtor. Okay? But we preparing the account by the name of that particular person's account we have prepared, not a debtor's account. But when we just know the number of persons and to whom we have sold the goods, we don't know. At that time, we just prepare the sundry debtors account. We can normally consign just now in example you don't show the debtors account, but when it sold the goods, at that time it's prepare the sundry debtors account. So you show or not, but account has prepared in the book of consignee sundry debtors account. Okay, sundry debtors account also prepare. Debit amount. Okay, it's not compulsory to show it.